The Pentagon brings back a symbol of the past, and the nation clashes over its future. In Washington, a CDC crisis, a shooting, and a new showdown between Trump and Newsom. Social Security hands out a so-called bonus, but it's not what it seems. The U.S. Navy builds up in the Caribbean, and the world asks who's the real target. And finally, Wall Street bleeds red. The Fed's next move could change everything. The U.S. Department of Defense has decided to restore the portrait of Confederate General Robert E. Lee at the West Point Library. The painting was removed back in 2022 following protests against Confederate symbols. Now the move has sparked new controversy. Some say it's about preserving history. Others warn it's a dangerous attempt to rehabilitate a past tied to slavery. Comment: this decision will clearly play into the political debate ahead of the elections. In the U.S., history and symbols are always highly charged topics. This week's top headlines, according to the Washington Post: a crisis at the CDC, a shooting in Minneapolis, and a new standoff between Gavin Newsom and Donald Trump. And on top of that, a weather alert. A hurricane could strike Florida's coastline in early September. Comment: the growing showdown between Trump and Newsom is quickly turning into the defining rivalry of the 2026 campaign. Meanwhile, the CDC crisis could further undermine public trust in government. Today, some Americans received what's being called a Social Security bonus payment. The average amount was $967. But in reality, this isn't a surprise gift. It's a scheduled supplemental payout for certain retirees and disabled beneficiaries. Comment: economists point out that headlines like this can be misleading. These payments aren't extra benefits, but part of the regular support system. The U.S. Navy is ramping up its presence in the Caribbean. Officially, the mission is aimed at curbing drug trafficking. But experts are asking whether it's actually about sending a message to Venezuela and its allies. In Caracas, officials have already denounced the move as a provocation. Comment: these kinds of maneuvers often serve two purposes: a tactical operation on the surface, but also a strategic signal in the bigger geopolitical game. Wall Street ended the day in the red. Tech stocks took a hit as investors await the latest inflation report, the PCE index. The numbers will likely determine whether the Federal Reserve raises rates in September. Comment: even a small uptick in inflation could shake the markets. From startups to pension funds, investors are bracing for impact.